Welcome to the Engineering Update. I'm digital editor Jason Lundberg, and in this week's episode, 3D printed human livers, taking virtual vacations using Oculus Rift, and 3D printing functional circuit boards.
When a medication enters the bloodstream, it ends up being concentrated in the liver. This means that if a drug is going to have poor effect on any part of the body, chances are it will be the liver. So naturally, or shall I say unnaturally, the San Diego-based biotech firm Organovo is about to start selling tiny 3D printed human livers. Attention pharmaceutical companies, if you want to test the safety of your products, you will now be able to do experiments on some miniature human livers. You're welcome. Known as X-Vive 3D, the three-dimensional liver models measure just a few millimeters across and are created using a 3D bioprinter. The device incorporates two print heads, one of which deposits a support matrix and the other of which precisely places human liver cells in it. The resulting models are composed of living human liver tissue and incorporate cells, just like a real full-size liver. They also produce liver proteins and synthesize cholesterol. The liver cell cultures currently used to test pharmaceuticals are two-dimensional and thus may not always function in the same as the actual organ. The new cells are arranged as a 3D orientation relative to one another, as they would be naturally. Right now, the X-Vive 3D tissue remains functional for at least 42 days. The first X-Vive 3D models will be available to researchers and pharmaceutical companies through Organovo's Contract Research Services program, so all tests will be performed by their technicians at the company's facilities. Get your tiny 3D printed human livers today.
Last week, we talked about a system of targeted advertising very similar to the film Minority Report, based on a short story by Philip K. Dick. And this time, we shine a spotlight on a famous hotel chain, rhymes with Chariot, that's introducing virtual vacations eerily reminiscent of the popular early 90s flick Total Recall, also based on a story by Philip K. Dick. And while the teleporters don't involve a certain famous Austrian bodybuilder or Sharon Stone, nor do they make any claims about its virtual vacations being indistinguishable from the real thing, they do provide a highly immersive 4D experience. Oh, and Marriott just happens to have hotels and high-class resorts in every virtual vacation spot, so their motivation is probably a tad more selfish than the fictional Recall. Marriott uses Oculus Rift headsets for the visuals, pneumatic pumps for the simulated movement, and mist and ventilation systems for the weather. It also includes so-called 4D elements, including heaters, scent dispensers, and a 1,000-watt amplifier. And the company currently offers two scenic locales, high atop a London skyscraper and a tropical paradise in Maui. Imagine walking across a serene beach with the waves crashing in the background, the sun shining brightly, and a soft breeze licking your body as you stroll through the island paradise. And imagine doing that all from the comfort and security of your hotel. It's actually a very elegant application of the Oculus Rift, even if the entire purpose is to sell more vacations. Marriott unveiled the teleporters back in September, and they've been on an 8-city tour ever since.
When it comes to 3D printing, we've talked about everything from skulls to candy to even livers. But one company thinks we should be taking it just a step further. Functionalized is a company with the goal of allowing people to 3D print working electronics. Obviously, what's important for this to work is the material being used in the printer. The company came up with a filament they call F-electric, which is 1,000 times more electrically conductive than any other material available for a 3D printer. The material was born after a lot of testing with plastics, graphene, and metal. The resulting filament is designed to be printed into circuit wires, sensors, power connectors, or other electrical components inside 3D printed projects. The long-term goal is a 3D printer that would allow you to print fully functional drones with circuits and components. The team has already printed a keychain LED flashlight as proof of concept. But before you get too excited, the flashlight required a bulb and batteries to be added afterwards, since it's still a work in progress. Basically, they've created the filament, but they're still working towards some other goals. The team is hoping to get some backers from a Kickstarter campaign where they're looking to raise a goal of $100,000.
That's all for this week's video. Be sure to check in on Facebook and Twitter and catch past episodes on ECNmag.com. For the ECN channel, I'm Jason Lundberg, and thanks for watching.